Welcome to the second half of the webinar, the Take Flight Weekend Warrior webinar. Um, and man, I want to thank everybody that took action and went ahead and signed up. And what happened when they signed up was I sent them an assessment, and they also have access to me directly with dealing with any questions, anything I can help them out with business related information. And so it also comes whenever you sign up for to get the 1 week. I mean the 4 week. And basically what it is like every week I'm doing a webinar, and I'm sharing a concept, and I'm sharing my philosophy on this. And sometimes people want to dive deeper. They want to know more information about it. They have other questions. And so I know sometimes whenever you're on a webinar, you're on a Zoom call, it's kind of a lot of information at one time. So it takes you time to process it. And so that's another reason why it's very good to sign up, and you have access to me directly. I'll send you assessments. You let me know what questions you have on those assessments, and we can go from there, man. It's growing. I have 5 other assessments that I'm going to send out. But yeah, so let's get started. So this week I wanted to talk about triggers. What is triggers, right? Triggers are going to be very powerful actions that you need to take to move you forward, right? And so basically, I'm just going to break down exactly what Take Flight is and what a Weekend Warrior is, right? So Take Flight is basically starting to take action to move your life, your business, your family, your finances forward, right? And so I'll just share with you my story. I dropped out in ninth grade with twin boys. I had no education. I got started off in the body shop industry, and I did technical work for a very long time. And I thought that was my calling. I thought that was what I was meant to do for the rest of my life. And it wasn't until I stumbled across like the business side of it, because I knew the technical side of it, but I was never exposed to the business side of it. And it wasn't until I wanted to open my own business, and I started to seek out advice. And I made a lot of mistakes because I took the wrong advice. And that's something I learned. It was a expensive mistake that I took the wrong advice from people that weren't business owners. They weren't doing the things that they were saying they were doing. They were teaching. They weren't practicing what they're preaching, right? So basically, over the years, I've had the opportunity of training. I mean, alongside and being mentored by some of the best people in the industry, man. These are like world class people. I mean, one of the ones that sticks out like at the top of my head is Brian Tracy, man. I was able to connect with Brian Tracy on a personal level, really share some deep information on how to set goals, how the mind works, how to just overcome, setbacks and failures. Like he taught me all that stuff. But I've also worked with Tim Story, Kay Wakeman. Like these are business professional coaches. They're not influencers. They're just they're 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 just business coaches, right? Thought someone okay. Yeah, they're just business coaches, man. And Mike Coffee, Coach Burt, the super coach, man, T Bowman, like these people, they're not social media influencers. They're not big names, but these guys are big business people. Like they're just all about business. They don't care about social media. They don't care about nothing. They're just about business. And had the opportunity to be coached by them, to have them as mentors, to really mold me into the person I am today. I've been on podcasts with Elena Cardone, Sofia Cardone, Rafael Vargas. Like these people have taught me so much over the years, and and it's changed my life. And growing up, I was raised in a small city. We moved to a bigger city when I was younger, and I was exposed to a different environment fast, and I wasn't able to adapt very well. I wasn't very educated. I failed in school. I made a lot of mistakes, man. I made a lot of mistakes, and so the real goal with this is just to share some of the things I've learned in the past. You know, uh, Over the years, we've managed to build a successful collision repair shop. And that collision repair shop is basically just the vehicle. Like we use that collision repair shop for the vehicle to accomplish bigger goals, to invest in real estate investing, to open up other businesses. And this is our vehicle. And so this is our mainstream, and we branch out. We're just building wealth. And I was never taught this growing up. So in these webinars, I'm just going to share some of the skills, some of the techniques that I've learned. Like I said, if y'all have any questions, man, like feel free to ask questions. I'm a very open book. You can ask me anything you want. My intentions with this webinar is to get you signed up, though. Like, in order to see drastic change, you have to be consistent with it. It's kind of like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym one time and expect to get results. So this is kind of like a showcase. Like, you know, when you go to a gym and they want you to become a membership, they say, "Hey, why don't you come work out with the trainer and see if you like it?" This is the same thing. I want you to see if you like it, see if it's a fit, see if we share the same beliefs. And you know what? If we don't, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a big deal. You have to find someone that you can adjust with. I'll tell you one of the biggest things that people make mistakes in. And so when I first started, you know, I was always told, "Hey, you need to find a coach. You need to find a coach, right?" And I see we have some more people attending. If y'all have any questions, man, uh, drop any questions, uh, and let me know if the sound is good. Let me know if the sound is clear. Just drop something in the questions that the sound's good, and I'll keep rolling on here. Man, I love questions, man. If you have any questions, I can go into those subjects, and we won't get too far off subject, but I want to answer all your questions. And like I said, the coaching thing, man. Like, when I got into this thing business, I was told, hey, you need to find a coach, right? And I didn't really understand what they meant by that. I didn't understand what they meant by you got to have a coach. Let me find this other paper real quick. And so basically what it is, like, look, check it out, guys. There's gonna be a coach, there's gonna be a consultant, and there's gonna be a mentor. Okay. So let's just say, for example, if you own a business, right, and you have 10 employees, you have 2 employees or whatever, right, and you're trying to figure out how to hire more people, how to keep people working for you, right? You might not want to really hire a coach. You might want to hire a consultant, because the consultant is going to come in and say, "Hey, you know what? This is a hiring process that you can put into your business, and if you follow these steps, this is how the system works." So basically, the consultant just comes in and he kind of gives you a solution to a problem, right? And it doesn't really change your habits as a person. You're still the same person now. You just have this. He came in and fixed the problem for you, right? He's a consultant, right? And so he doesn't really change you as a person. A mentor is going to be like, hey, let's say if you have a business and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to have a business, but I want to use some of the income from that business to get into real estate investing, right? So then you'll want to find a mentor that's doing that already, and he's just going to show you what he's going to do. He's just going to show you what he's doing, and so basically you're going to mirror him. You're going to mirror what he's doing, and you're going to get the same results as he's getting, because he's just mentoring you. He's just showing you what he's doing, so he's a mentor. A coach is a completely different thing, because the coach is going to ask you, okay, Diego, okay, Enrique, okay, Andrew, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish in the next 90 days? And so then y'all going to come up with an action plan and say, okay, you know what? Every week, every day, you got to do this simple thing. You got to do this. And if you're consistent with it, it's going to build up a new habit in you. And once you form that habit, you're going to start to be an autopilot of doing that, right? For example, like when we wanted to really grow the business fast, right? I started every morning. Like, this is what I would do. Every morning, I would come to the office, have a meeting, and then I would take off, and I would visit as many insurance agents as possible. I would just go everywhere, lawyers' offices, mechanic other shops, like I said, insurance agents, anybody that fleet repair shops, I would just go and meet with these people every morning. And what I was doing is I got into a habit of that. And so I did it for like 90 days, almost a whole year. I would just get up, go meet with people, take them cookies, build relationships, shake their hand, talk about their kids. Hey, what's going on in your life? I built this relationship, and I just kept doing it and doing it. And after a while, it just became natural. It wasn't even, I didn't even have to think about it. I just knew what my schedule was. And so it became a routine. And because I did that, it established the habit of me going out, and me doing that brought in more work. You understand? So that action formed a habit, and the result was we got more exposure and we got more traffic in the shop, right? So that's how a coach works. A coach is going to say, okay, if you want to accomplish this, these are the things you need to do, and you need to do it every week. I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to beg you to do it. I'm not going to try to motivate you to do it. You got to want to do it yourself, because if you don't really want it, it's not really going to happen. So that's the difference between a coach, right? What I like to refer to myself is, I like to refer to myself as a strategist, right? I love strategies. I love figuring out how we're going to get from A to B. I love to try different tests. Um, I'm not a motivator. I'm not going to hype you up. I'm just going to say, hey man, this is what we got to do. Let's do it. And I'll just give you the skills and some of the things that I had to overcome to put myself in a different mindset, right? So look, this is how it works. This is a simple formula, right? So look, if you have a goal or something you want to accomplish, right? A lot of times we say, okay, I want to accomplish X, right? And we don't really work backwards with that. So look, if you want to accomplish a goal, you have to have some kind of measurement. And what I mean by that is, like, you have to create a checklist, right? So for example, whatever you want to accomplish, you have to create a checklist every day to make sure that you take that action, right? And we can use working out. Every day, if you work out for 30 minutes, you know, for a consistent amount of time, you're gonna see some results, right? So basically, on your schedule, you'll say, okay, work out in the morning, and you check it off. You check it off. So that's gonna be how you measure it. You can measure your weight, you can measure your body fat, right? So you're gonna measure it. The next thing is you're gonna have to have some motivation, right? So motivation is interesting because see, we see motivation as something like exciting. Like, we have to see something motivating to excite us, right? But you can also use like pain as motivation. Okay, pain as motivation is also very, very powerful, because see, one of the pains that I use as motivation is I always go back to whenever I was younger, and they would label me. And I'll share this story with you really quick. When I was young, taking some notes here because I want to make sure I give you all this information. When I was young, uh, I was in elementary, and I got labeled. So the teacher said, "Oh, this kid has behavior problems. Like, this kid has a learning disability." Okay, so what they did was they put a label on me. They put like a label on my head. So that teacher then went and told the other teachers, "Hey, this kid, he has behavior problems and he has a learning disability." So they stuck that label with me, right? But I was so young, uh, and I looked up to them as like an authority because they're teachers, right? So when we're younger, we assume teachers are smarter than us, right? And so uh, it wasn't until like years later that I learned that, like, people people don't have the right to label anybody. Like, you can't see, this is a true study they did. People have a label. It's called a label filter. Okay, and the label filter, the way it works is it narrows it. When you see someone or you meet someone for the first time, you're gonna label them real quick. You're gonna say, oh, he's rich, he's poor, or he's good, he's bad, right? They're pretty, they're ugly, they're fat, they're skinny, right? So that's called a label filter, and we have that built inside us, right? And so Harvard did a study. It's pretty interesting. Harvard did a case study where they got two, top performing basketball players. Like these are top performers. They're equal in skill. They're equal in talent. Like their specs are equal, right? Well, what they did was they got a group of people, and they got two groups of people, right? And they put one group of people in an old gym, and they put one group of people in a new gym with one player on one side and the other player at the other gym, right? Well, the players like shot hoops, and they kind of like were dribbling whatever, right? Well, then the Harvard got the people back and said, hey, tell us what you think about this person. Do you think that he's going to be do you think he's capable of playing in the NBA, right? And so they came back and they said, no, you know what? This guy, he's not very good. And so the guy that they said was not very good was in the old gym. Okay. The guy that they said that was going to make it to the NBA was in the new gym. Okay. And so what happened was the people were looking at the player and they were just judging him real quick, but they didn't realize that the old gym had poor lighting. The poor gym had like a busted up floor. So the poor gym, the environment wasn't the same as the new environment at the new gym. But these people, like, they just made a quick judgment off a person without looking at the bigger picture, without really looking at the details. And so look, maybe you have a label that you're stuck with. Maybe growing up, a teacher or authority figure labeled you, and that label has stuck with you. Like you can label yourself. Like whenever I discovered that, I said, shit, I can label myself. Like I can label myself. So once you decide to label yourself as whatever you want to label yourself, it's a world changer, man. It's a world changer. And so you got to be careful, man, because see, labels will stick with you. And how do you use the past as fuel, right? And so look, you know, I mean, you've heard the story of David and Goliath, right? So David, he used his pain as motivation because he was considered, like, he was labeled, man. This dude was labeled, but he said, you know what? Like, yeah, I'm labeled. They labeled me as like good for nothing, but I know that I'm gonna be the best. Like he relabeled himself. So people labeled him, but he had his own label. He didn't allow their label to stick with him. So what he did was he just acted like a pro. Like he took care of his business like a pro, and he was always on his A game. Like he was always getting better. He knew that he was going to improve his skills. He knew that his time was going to come, because he knew that if he labeled himself the best, he had to wake up every day and perform at his best in whatever he did. Like in whatever he did, he performed the best. And so what happened was, whenever he came up against Goliath, like Goliath didn't have a chance. The Goliath didn't have a chance because the Goliath was labeled he was labeled the king. Like he's like, you're the giant. You can beat anybody. So because he had the label of like no one can beat him, he felt like he didn't have to improve his skills. You see what I'm saying? Like, so look, man, I don't know if I lost y'all with that, but that's a powerful, powerful concept, man. If you really think about it, like you can reinvent yourself whenever you decide to, because our bodies are forever changing. They're forever changing. And and our minds control what our bodies, how our bodies, develop. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you trigger that. You got to make sure you trigger those things. You got to make sure you trigger your label. Okay, who am I? Who am I? Who do I want to be? That's a very powerful question. My One of my mentors, Patrick David, I had a sit down meeting with him. If you don't know Patrick David, look him up on YouTube. He has some awesome content. uh we sat down in a big meeting room, man, and it was very bunch of CEOs were there, a lot of people were there. I was definitely like the smallest guy in the room, and he looked me straight in the eye and says, hey man, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? And it's a powerful question. And so that's something you can ask yourself, who do I want to be? And really take some time to think about it, man. Take some time to think about it, and really discover, like, who do you really want to be? But not only kind of dream about it, like act on it. Like, that's also how the trigger works, right? So the trigger also works is you say, okay, who do I want to be? And what actions do I need to do to be that person? And so look, the way that you trigger this is, look, the way that you trigger this. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to share something here. I'm looking for my notes on that. Let me know if you have any questions about the triggers. I don't know where I wrote it at. But the way the trigger works, man, is like, look, I have it here somewhere. The way the trigger works is take some time and really decide who you want to be as a person, right? Figure out how that person needs to show up, okay? And connect it with something. Like, for example, when I was Rotary Club president, very intimidating position, because you're the president of some attorneys, some judges, uh, you know, public figures. So it's a very intimidating position. And so I knew that I needed to show up as a leader. I knew I needed to show up prepared. And what I did was I attached it to a song. So whenever I heard that song, it triggered my mind to say, hey, you know what? It's time to show up. It's time to show up. So before my meeting, I would drive I would put this song on, and it would trigger me. It would put me in a different state of mind. It was like a switch. It was like a trigger. And so you gotta find some triggers that work for you. It can be a photo, it can be a bracelet, it can be something in your car, something that when you see it, it triggers you. Boom, you're on it, man. It can be something that you remember from the past. Maybe someone told you something that you were never going to be successful. Maybe that someone that one of your enemies that it's a rival. You want to outshine them. Use that as fuel to trigger you to move forward with your actions, and really be the person that you want to be, man. Uh, another thing that oh, here it is right here. Look, so look, some of the biggest triggers that you can have are going to be vision boards. And so if you're not familiar with the vision board, a vision board just really gives you direction, because the more you connect, the more you connect these within your mind, um, the faster it's going to move you forward. And what I mean by that is, like, figure out who you want to be as a person, right? And kind of figure out what that person looks like. How are they going to dress? Uh, how are they going to what cars are they going to drive? What kind of friends are they going to have? What kind of books are they going to read? What kind of house are they going to live in? What kind of partner are they going to have? And so the vision board, you basically just kind of just put that stuff on a whiteboard, on a cardboard, and you get those pictures and you put them on that board. And that's also a trigger, because it reminds you of where you're going. So it's giving your mind it's giving your mind more details on what you want to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So like the more you can fill your mind with the details of what you want to accomplish, the faster it's going to move you forward. You're going to start to see things play out in your life. So look, it's going to be the vision board, phrases. If you can come up with some phrases that'll help you move forward, some phrases that you read online, something that you can print. I know mine is massive action, because what does massive action mean? You know, massive action, man. It's a belief I have. It's a belief that that I need to take action. I need to do something today to move me forward. I need to take an action today to move me forward because I have a legacy that I'm responsible for. I have, you know, family that I'm responsible for. I got people that look up to me as a mentor, as a coach, as a teacher, as a counsel, as a friend. Um, that they look up to me for that. And so, massive action is like, hey man, like, it's not about you, bro. It's about them. Like, it's not about you. Because look, man, to be honest, man, sometimes I'm lazy, dude. Like, I'm lazy. Like in the morning, I'm like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. But what works is like, I have a routine. Like I have a routine, and I have those habits, and I know what triggers I know how to trigger myself. So like, this is a trigger right here. I come in the office, boom, that's a trigger. When I see this, it's a trigger because when I walk in the office, I put my hat on, it's like a trigger. I'm a different person. And it doesn't matter. Like this is powerful, man. It could be a hat. Like this is a trigger. It's powerful because like it automatically puts me in a state of mind. Like it doesn't matter like it doesn't matter like what's going on. Like when I'm in the office and I have this hat on, like it's like let's go. Like let's do it. Like we're here to play. We're here to play ball. We're here to win. We trained all year. We have the information. We have the resources. We know the people. Like let's do it. Like it's game day. Like it's game day. Today's game day. When I have this on, it's game day. So that's what when I see massive action, that say it has the same response. And so this is for the office. Massive action is for the gym, for the weekend. I see it's at home. My younger son wears it. My older sons wear it. It reminds me, hey, like massive action, like it's this massive action. It's a trigger. A song, man. A song is going to be very powerful. It isn't. I mean, there can be a song that really gets you hyped up. That really gets you going. That puts you in a different state of mind. You know, you listen to that song in the morning. Listen to it. When before you get to the office, before you have to do a presentation, before hey, you're having a bad day. Uh, someone pissed you off. You're aggravated. You're feeling stressed. Listen to that music. Listen to that music. Put yourself in a different state of mind. You can convert that. You can convert that energy. It's all the same. Like you can use, like you can spend an hour being negative and like being aggravated, and if you notice, like it's like you might say, like you might be in the office, or you might, your partner, uh leave me alone, I'm aggravated. Leave me alone, I'm upset. Leave me alone, I'm stressed. And so listen to what you just said, right? You said, leave me alone, I am aggravated. Leave me alone, I am stressed. Leave me alone, I'm not having a good day. So by you just verbally saying that, you're just reinforcing it into your mind. Like you're just reinforcing it. And so look, I guarantee you, like this try this exercise. Try this exercise whenever you're like having a bad day, or whenever you're aggravated, or whenever something didn't go your way. Um, Instead of telling yourself, you know what, man, I'm aggravated right now, man, I'm stressed, I'm burned out. Say, nah, you know what? I'm hyped up right now. I feel good. I feel awesome. Like I'm ready. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to go to take it to the next level. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna use that energy that you're being negative about, that energy that you're aggravated about. You're gonna switch it, because see, the mind doesn't know the difference. Like the mind doesn't know the difference between you being aggravated or you being excited. But you're telling yourself how you're gonna act. So that's a trigger. You can change that, and you can do it, like I said, by a phrase, a vision board, a song, even like scent. Like if you burn like sage incense. I burned a lot of incense for a while, and what incense did was it put me in a creative state of mind. Like whenever I smelt the incense, like it put me in like a creative state of mind. Like it just made me want to learn. And that's when I really got deep into like studying and reading books, and doing a lot of deep research in a bunch of different subjects. I'm a master mason, so I studied like, the masons, and what's the secret society and how all that works. And actually became a master mason because I was so invested in like wanting to know like what it is about, and like what's the true meaning of it, right? And I'll share with you some of the meanings, and it's kind of off subject, but I'll just kind of go into it. Masonic, the masons are just men that hold each other accountable. That's it. They hold each other accountable, and it kind of they help you eliminate fear. And that's very powerful. If you can master that, like eliminating fear, or mastering fear, and building confidence, and that, I mean, that's true. It's truly going to help you. um Triggers and goals. So a lot of times we say, okay, you know what, Stan, vision board, the phrase, the song, the sense, the change your mindset. Uh, that's all good stuff. But like, I want to see some quick results, right? Well, there's no such thing as quick results. There's no such thing as quick results. But there is results. Like, uh that's the light at the end of the tunnel. There is results, right? And ultimately what it comes down to is how committed you are with those results. And you know this stuff that I'm sharing with you is very it's very general, right? And what I mean by that is, like, okay, for habits to really start to get established with this, you're looking minimum 30 days, mid 60 days, max 90 days. um, and you have to be consistent with that. And that's the hard part, man. And anything good doesn't come easy. Like, anything good doesn't come easy. Like, I can tell you that right now. And that's why most people that win the lotto, that they're broke, within a couple years. uh Most people that get inheritance, like that, they never make it, because it was easy. And so because it was easy, it's lost. It's lost because it doesn't have no value, you know. But like I said, I mean, 30 days, give it a try, man. Start putting stuff down, on paper. And that's gonna take us into our next thing, like with the triggers, right? So look, the triggers are things that are gonna activate you. Like, they're gonna put you in a different state of mind, right? And we all, like, if we take time, we all have activators. Like, there's something with us that triggers us, that kind of puts us in a better state of mind. But one of the most important things that I've discovered is time, man. It's time, alone time. It's really alone time, and getting kind of getting alone with yourself, and just start writing uh some of the stuff that you're wanting to accomplish. Start sharing your thoughts on paper. That they said one of the richest places in the world. This is like one of the richest places in the world. and I want y'all to take a guess on that. If y'all want to make a comment, what do you think? Where do you think the richest places in the world is? Where's the richest place in the world? Put it in the chat. But check it out. The richest place in the world is actually in the graveyard, in the cemetery, and the reason being is because a lot of those people had like billion-dollar ideas. They had like big dreams, but they never start to put it on paper, and so they ended up dying with those dreams. They ended up dying with those goals. They ended up dying with those inventions, uh, because they were too scared to share it. They were too scared to take the time to put it on paper. And so Keith Cunningham, very very powerful business guy, taught me that it's called thinking time. Like really get yourself a journal, get yourself a binder. We have a massive action principle binder that it's actually back order right now, but we're gonna be releasing those pretty soon here. It's a binder, and you basically you continue on that, like let's say for example, if you say, okay, you know what, Sunday I'm gonna get up, early, and I'm just gonna take some time. I'm not gonna be on my phone. I'm just gonna take some time to think about, just reflect on really where I want to go. Really reflect on what some of my thoughts are. Really reflect on some of the labels that I want on myself. Who do I want to be as a person? Uh, who would that person associate with? How can I build these relationships better? Just share all that stuff on paper, right? And so then what happens is, the next week you go back and you start to kind of follow up with where you left off, and so you start to build where you left off. So you start to create like a foundation. You're starting to build up, because a lot of times we have journals, or we take notes, but we're not consistent with it, and so we might have an idea, uh, but then the next week comes and we kind of forget what we talked. We kind of forget what we were thinking about. So it's always good to have a binder, something that you can keep your notes in there, something you can document, and build off of those ideas, build off of those goals, build off those plans, those strategies, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna really really help you move forward. Um, I'm gonna give you all a few things here. Some of the areas that you can focus on creating triggers is going to be your business, your finances, your health, well-being, spirituality, family, relationships, and lifestyle. Those are 8 things. Those are the key 8 things that you need to take some time and just start. It's called thinking time, man. Just take some time. Uh, if you're interested in the binder, I'll put the link to get one of those binders. And basically, you write in there some of your ideas, some of your thoughts, and you build off of those ideas. Like you build off them, and all these areas. Like you take time and you start to build off these areas, and what's going to happen is you're going to start to really your vision, your goals are gonna start to become more detailed. And then once you have more details, you can start to put them on a vision board. You can start to have pictures of those in your office. I have pictures of my office right here, that everything that I'm moving forward to. It's everything, and it reminds me. And the hat's a trigger. And I have a $1 million check right here that I have. It's a trigger. It's a trigger. $1 million check. It's a trigger. I have things that just trigger me, and I use those every day. I use those every day, and a lot of times, people will ask me like, "Hey, do you remember this happened last week, or do you?" And I'm like, I'm too focused on the front. Like I'm too focused on the front to worry about the past. I think Grant Cardone says, like, he's like, man, if you look at a car, uh, look at the rearview mirror and look at the windshield. Like no one pays attention to rear view. That's why it's so small. It's not important. It's not that important. Like it's not. Like focus on the big picture, the windshield in front of you, and put those triggers in place, and and start to get more detailed on what that future looks like. And then this is where it gets creative. Like it gets powerful because you attach those details with sense. You attach those details with phrases. You attach those details with music, with songs, something that's going to trigger you. The hat, anything that's going to trigger you, it's gonna remind you, hey, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. So this is how we got to act. This is how we got to perform. This is how we got to show up. Because look, everybody's a character, okay? And you're either gonna be the star in the movie, or you're gonna be one of those extras. And so most people are extras. What I mean by that is like they're actually an extra in someone else's movie. So this is very powerful because I was talking to my coach about this, Coach Burt, and I said, man, I want to control the narrative, man. Like I want to control the narrative. I want to control the narrative. I want things to be in a certain way. I want things to happen like this. Uh, you control the narrative, and what happens is when you get fully control of your narrative, then everybody else are extras. You're the star, and they're extras in your narrative. And what I mean by character is when people say like what's your character, right? Or what's his characteristics? You can change your characteristics whenever you want. Like if you're interested, that's in the binder. That's in the binder. Like all the character. I think there's 28 characteristics. And what's crazy is uh who was it? I think it was Zig Ziglar said, there's 28 characters in a person, and already all it takes is a decision. Like once you make a decision to have that character, you're that character. So it's kind of like Halloween, right? Like you decide to be a character for a day, and you're that character. So it that also applies in life. Like what character are you gonna be? Are you gonna be the successful business guy, that entrepreneur, the father that guides his kids in the right way, the husband that takes a lead of the family, the guy that's gonna be responsible and make a difference in the community, the guy that's out there helping people, giving back. Um, what characters do you want in you? And you decide, hey, you know what? These are the characters I want. This is the person that I'm gonna be. But I'm not gonna be it for a day. I'm gonna be it for the rest of my life. And so you're just that character. And so what happens is it's the same thing with an officer. Look, have you noticed that whenever an officer shows up, like you tend to like your body, like you tend to act different. You see that? Like when an officer shows up, not be I mean, of course, because he's an authority figure, but also too just because of the way he's dressed. See, he's in costume. He's wearing a costume, and his costume is his character. And so when he's in character, he's like, law. And he's like, I'm the police officer. I'm the, you know. And so he has that. He's playing that character, and so then you're an extra. You see, he's controlling the narrative because he can walk into a house and say, "Knock knock, police officer, I need to come in." And so he's walking in the house. He's going through whatever he wants. He's controlling the narrative, and you're just an extra, right? So you can also do that with your life, and decide what character you want to be, and just show up as that character, and before long you just develop into this other person, and people are gonna say, hey man, like you're a different person, man. Like I don't even recognize you. Like you're on top of your game now. And so changing the character, the trigger, the writing in the maps binder. It's called maps binder. That's the binder that we have. It's called massive action principle. So it's a binder that has a bunch of tools in it. Has a bunch of tools in it. Has a bunch of strategies. This is kind of like a. This is kind of like let's give you like a kind of like a thing of it. This is kind of like what it looks like. This is not the full. It's not the full one. That's like a owner's edition, but it's very similar to that. It's in a white binder or a black binder, whichever you prefer. But it has different worksheets in there. It has different links. It has different assessment tests that's going to help you navigate. Because look, you can set the goal. You can do the thinking time. You can have the triggers. You can decide the character, but it really comes down of you being consistent with it, and you having it, you setting a routine for yourself, and you definitely got to be educating yourself. You got to be associating with people that are giving you information, people that are guiding you to, hey, have you take this assessment? Have you read this book? They're pushing you to content that's going to help you grow, right? So I want to leave y'all with a book. Let's see what we can leave y'all with that's going to be very. Let me know if y'all have any questions. Let me know if y'all have any questions before we end this. Uh, Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to answer any questions before I head out. But I want to leave y'all with the book that, let me see what we can do. It's a small read. I'll tell you what, I'll follow up. I'll send a book in the email. And if any of y'all, Diego, Enrique, if Andrew, Aaron, if any of y'all are interested in signing up, I know Doug was on here, Ron, Roddy, uh, Paul. Okay, guys. Hey, guys, look, if y'all are interested in doing the 4-week thing, I'm going to keep the 4-week thing going. If you're interested in the binder, um, I'll send you the link for those two things, man. It's going to be very important, man. Uh, it's going to be very important because it has to be consistent. You have to have someone holding you accountable. And like I said, I'm just going to give you some tools and strategies that I've used. And like I said, with whenever you do the 4-week thing, like you have access to me. Like you can message me, you can email me, say, hey Stan, this is where I'm struggling at in this area. What do you suggest? What action should I take? And I'll share that information with you. And it's going to be very helpful to have someone in your corner that you can call to help you get ahead, man. So, hey guys, do y'all have any questions before I head out? Let me know if y'all have any questions. And if this is good, I mean, let me know if this is good stuff or not. Just give me a thumbs up if this is good stuff. Uh, and I'll see y'all if y'all want to opt in next week. We have another one next week. Next week's gonna be powerful. Next week is gonna be doubles. Doubles is gonna be powerful. Doubles, we go into money, we go into you know different sources of extra income you can create. Next week's gonna be double, and like I said, everybody that signs up for the 4-week, I send them an assessment, and they also get to attend next week. They have access to me 24/7 to help them with any things with business or life. Uh, Appreciate it, Diego. All right, Andrew. Y'all be good, man. Hey, if y'all also know anybody that might be interested in joining in on this, man, send them the link, man. Oh man, all right. I'll reach out to you, Enrique. All right, man? I'll reach out to you and see what we can do, brother. I'll reach out to you and see what we can do. And maybe I'll tell you what, I'll send you an email and we'll get on a call and we'll get you taken care of. Let me know if y'all are also interested in the massive action principle binder. Like I said, we only had like a limited supply of those. We sold out, but I'm gonna have some more. If you want to pre-order ones, I'll also send you the link for that. It's gonna be a powerful principles in there with a lot of tips, a lot of secrets, a lot of books that I've read, breakdowns and formulas. I want to share one more formula before I leave. I just remembered right now. Okay, guys, this is a formula that you can apply, right? Okay, so look, step one is going to be, what change do I want to make? Okay, what change do I want to make? That's going to be the first question. What action will I need to do? Okay. How long till it forms a habit? Okay. I have the time and the 1%. So what that means is like it's baby steps, guys. Like it's baby steps. It's not you're not gonna sprint. You're not gonna try to you're gonna take baby steps, man. You gotta start off small. And the reason why is because look, if you say, you know what, I'm gonna try to do all this stuff at once. It's happened, and it's proven studies. You have a overload. You have an information overload, and your mind goes into a defensive mode. Your mind goes into like fight, flight, panic. Stay still or have faith. Like it goes into a freaked out state, and it pulls you back off, right? So look, give it time, man. Give it time, and just apply the 1%. Like I said, stay on the map. Stay on the map. Like once you start to formulate this, you're gonna create a map, and once you stay on that map and you stay on your schedule, uh, you get the habit started. It becomes natural, and what happens is so the way the habit works. Like I'm just gonna break this down real quick because I gotta go. But whenever you're tired, mentally exhausted, whenever you just burnt out, like we all go through it, right? Your body your body will fall back on your habits. And so it's easy. You gotta take the time to form the new habits. That way, whenever you're tired, your body will fall back on those habits. And that's how these successful people are performing, because they've established these habits, and it's almost like they're an autopilot. So then what happens is they start to tweak their habits to get better. Nice. The $45 challenge, man. That's it. You're just doing, like, you're applying the 1% principle. You're just doing this small action. You're doing this small action, right? And you can say, you know what? I'm gonna bump it up to $48. Try doing that. Like this is also a thing you can. This is how you can tweak that, right? So you can say, you know what? Every month, every month, uh, I'm gonna go up, right? So for example, you can say every week I'm gonna go up $1. So let's just say this month you're on $45, right? But next month you go up for $46, right? I guarantee you're not gonna have a big difference mentally, because it's not a big shift. Your mind's not really gonna notice any difference because you're already in the habit of saving that. $1 difference is not gonna it's not gonna change you. But if you say I'm gonna go from 45 to 100, your mind is gonna go into a panic. They're gonna be like, oh shit, something's not right here. Something's crazy. So then you're gonna fall off. So look, every month go up just $1, and you're gonna see that you're gonna be like, man, like it's not even that bad. And then people are gonna say, man, how do you manage to save that? And man, it's because they didn't attend the webinar. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the inside game here we're playing. But it's a game, man. Business is a game, guys. Business is a game, and all it is the more skills and the more information you know about it, the easier and the funner it is. Because when I was in business, when I first started, man, I didn't know anything about business, and it was frustrating because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It's kind of like your first day at basketball practice when everybody knows how to play and everybody knows the layups, everybody knows the how to dribble under their legs, and they can do all this they can spin the ball on their fingers. But once you do it constantly, you're able to play just as good as them, and then you just get better and get better. So hey guys, hey, thanks for watching. Enrique, I'll reach out to you with that link, man. We can get you signed up, brother. Later, guys.